Hello, everyone. Welcome to day 10 of our 19 days of June. We are on our way. We are getting there. We are getting through it. But most of all, we are finding those little moments of mindfulness as we go in our day, even though we may be really busy, there may be so much on. This is the whole point of the practice. This is exactly what we're doing. So, thank you for joining me. I'm so excited for day 10. As I'm recording or doing this live stream, it is Monday morning for me. So it is bright and early, and we are bright eyed and bushy tailed and ready to go. Uh, Today's practice is one of the more common, it's a breathing practice, but it's one of the more common breathing practices that I kind of default to for my own practice, depending on how I'm feeling, because I always find it is, from my experience, is the most leveling out practice that I have, but it also gives me something to do. So today we'll be practicing Nadi Shodhana. It's alternate nostril breathing. The reason I said it depends on how I'm feeling is because if you're feeling sinusy or stuffy or anything like that here, it's probably not going to feel great or accessible. So if that is you, that is okay. You don't have to force this at all. Just sort of breathe however you need to, even if that is through the mouth. So obviously, ideally, we breathe through our nostrils, but sometimes that's just not possible. And we want to make sure that you're actually breathing. So if you need to breathe through your mouth, breathe through your mouth. Um, there is the option, I find it helpful, but there is the option of like a hand movement that helps support this practice. Um, the usual things apply. If you are driving, if it feels comfortable for you, if it just doesn't, if it doesn't work, if it takes you out of it, or if there's something that doesn't feel right with using your hands on your face in this particular way I'll show you, then you don't need to. Um, Really, just you choose. But the usual warning if you're driving or anything like that, just make sure both hands are on the wheel, or you are using your hands for whatever you need to, for whatever safety purpose. If you are listening to this while you're doing something else, but if you are able to pause and do this with us, then amazing. So I am going to demonstrate this visually as well as talk it through. So what I will do is I'll explain, as usual, I'll explain what's actually going to happen. So you don't need to do it just yet. You can play with it, but I'll explain and then I'll guide you through the practice. Um, so we're working with our equal breath today, but really we're just aiming to get the sort of the movement and the practice in, but really trying to work with the equal breath. So that means it's not rushed, and it is balanced and just slow and steady, right? Slow and steady wins the race. So um, you take your preferred hand. I'm going to reference it as your right hand because lefts and rights are going to be at play here. Um, so if you can place your two-piece fingers between your eyebrows here, have your thumb and ring finger ready. So again, I'll explain it first. And what you will be doing is using, for example, your thumb to seal off your right nostril. Breathe in through your left nostril that is open. And then you'll use your ring finger to seal off your left nostril and breathe out through the right nostril that is open. Then you'll breathe back in through the right nostril, seal it off, breathe out through the left. That is one complete round. So it's this alternate nostril breathing. That was a very quick version of it. This alternate nostril breathing, it's just this opportunity to help to balance the hemispheres of the brain, working with both sides of the brain, and just generally kind of level out. So we are going to do 5 rounds. I will talk you through all of them. If your pace is a bit different, work with your pace, but remember it is not a race. We are not trying to race here at all. We are just trying to slow down and just focus on the breath. Again, if you're not able to do the hand action, or if you're feeling a bit sinusy, or for safety purposes, just do it however you need to, and then come back to it when you can. Pause and just have a little practice. So, peace fingers between your eyebrows. It's just a bit of a head rest. Your other hand can rest underneath the elbow, um, underneath the elbow of the hand that's connected to your face, because that can just sort of hold you steady there. Have your thumb and ring finger ready. And let's just take a breath in and out here. And seal off the right nostril with one of those fingers. Breathe in through the left. Seal off the left nostril. Breathe out through the right. Breathe back in through the right. Seal it off, out through the left. That's one complete round. Continue back in through the left, out through the right. Back in through the right, out through the left. And you can close your eyes here if that works for you. Back in through the left, out through the right. Back in through the right, out through the left. In through the left, out through the right. Back in through the right, out through the left. One more round here. In through the left, out through the right. Back in through the right, out through the left. So if you are practicing this fully, just release your hand. You can keep your eyes closed if that's how you're practicing. Take a deep breath in through both nostrils. Long breath out. I always feel like this part is a little bit like grains of sand settling. And that's our practice. So Snadi Shodhana is the Sanskrit word for the alternate nostril breathing. And what it does is really just help to bring us to the present moment. Obviously, we get to notice what patterns are happening, because the way our rhythms work is, typically one nostril will be slightly more blocked than the other, and then that will alternate as the day goes on, as the rhythms switch and change. So it's just an opportunity to really notice what's happening for you because you're in the present moment, but also just help to level out. And I always find that practice in particular just helps me stay or be or feel a little bit more grounded, a little bit more settled, a little clearer. Whether something's going wrong or not, whenever I practice it, it just gives me a little bit of that clear-headedness. It might be clarity around a particular thing, or just a clear-headedness around, oh, okay, cool. I can go into my day, or in this case, a brand new week. So, hope that's been helpful. I'm reminded that if you're interested in working together, I do workplace training through my Embodied Leaders Academy, and that is emotional intelligence and leadership training from an embodiment space. So you can reach out, we can have a conversation about that, or we can talk about your one-on-one options for coaching or for specific events or VIP days for you as well. So the link is in the description to book your free consult to have that conversation. But in the meantime, if you're just enjoying these, please keep enjoying them, and I will join you again tomorrow.